And now we have finished our first rune. I'm pretty sure you just right click with a piece of the living rock, just like that. And now we have a rune of fire. So we're going to have to do that quite a few times here to get all the different runes for this first flower. I mean, just for example here, this rune of wrath is going to take a rune of winter and a rune of earth. So I'm going to get crafting some of these different runes up, and we will be back here momentarily once we have quite a few more runes at our disposal so we can get a little more of our finished stuff going. Okay, so we got a lot of the runes crafted up that we're going to need here for the first kind of expensive one we're going to tackle, which is the Rune of Wrath. And for that we're going to need 2 mana diamonds, which is just a couple vault diamonds thrown in there. And we're going to need a pog as well, which we have a few in there ready to go. We'll throw the pog on here, the 2 mana diamonds, and then we need the Rune of Winter and the Rune of Earth. And while this charges up, it's actually a good opportunity to say that the runic altar does not consume any of the runes you use to make other runes, but whenever you throw a rune into here to actually pull a flower out of here or use this to craft something, it will consume whatever rune you throw in there. So for instance right here, we're going to lose this pog because this Rune of Wrath we're crafting up is going to be used over here, but we'll end up saving these 2 extra runes that we can use to craft more later down the line, or possibly they might get consumed in the future in the apothecary as well. So I'm going to let this finish crafting up here, and I will be back momentarily. And we have finished crafting our rune, so we put that on there and right click and we get our extra runes back, and now we have our Rune of Wrath as well. So we've got 4 total now, plus the extra Rune of Fire over here. So we've got everything we need now for our first intro pinium, which is the Wrath rune, the Fire rune, and then the petals here. So I'll need to grab the appropriate petals out of this box. I've already got the red ones. I believe we need white as well. And I think that is gray, yes. And we have those there. Inventory is looking a bit rough, so I'm going to take care of that. And come back over here. So we'll need the Rune of Fire, the Rune of Wrath, and then 2 white, 2 gray, and 2 red. And then we throw our seed in to confirm, and we have our first intro pinium. And with this guy, we can actually absorb explosions and turn that into mana, which will feed this machine quite a bit better. We'll probably have to reposition this and stuff, but we'll put that on some overgrown soil as well and get that feeding into the system, and that will help us along our way as we get into a little bit more of the mana heavy objects here, such as getting an elven gate ready for trading or getting some of these trinkets crafted up. So I'm going to get a little bit of a system in place to utilize this intro pinium. I might also craft a Rose Arcana as well, which is a very similar system. It's just a rune of mana, which is actually going to be a little easier to craft here. We could probably do that right now, actually. Throw that there. And let that charge on up. So I'm going to get this other one crafted and possibly start getting some progress, because we'll need to set up the Elder Gate so that we can get to some more advanced crafting materials to get a better mana spreader, because I would very much like to get access to one of those, but for that we're going to need Dreamwood here, and to get Dreamwood we actually have to elven trade some living wood through there, And to get to that, we're going to need this guy. We're actually going to need two of these. And for the Natura pylon, we're going to need a mana pylon, which is a lot more kind of this just regular crafting. It's not too bad to get one of those at all, but Terra Steel nuggets are where things get a little bit intense on the cost side and the time side as far as mana and these kinds of things. So these couple of new, slightly more expensive flowers will be very good for us as far as getting further into things and getting a better mana flow going on. So now that we've got that all taken care of, we can just craft that there, and now we have this one. And we can make us our Rose Arcana. So I'm going to get a little bit of a system set up here to better utilize some of these higher grade flowers, and we will be back in a little bit. Wave to the camera, Chad. Well, well, we have made some frickin' progress, I'll tell you that. It took me quite a while to kind of get this etched out, and I guess kind of how I want it. It's not 100% there yet. It's just going to kind of shape up as we go. I can't really like 100% plan out builds like this beforehand, so this area is very much subject to change. There's going to be quite a few differences going on here, but I do have a couple extra mana producing flowers and stuff around now. I've been sitting here for a while letting these mana pools fill up. We've actually got a couple full ones now, so that's pretty nifty. Just picked up a hardened stone slab there from when I was working on this area and tidying it up a little bit. Kind of a lot going on down here, but I wanted it to look, you know, magical and colorful, but still kind of cave-like in the bottom. One couple things I'd like to point out. I do have the ingredients here for our next step we're going to be making, but look at this guy. Look at this little potato. Oh, I love it. It's amazing. Such a cute little guy. So happy when you give him things, too. He jumps around. Anyway, so this is where the tower was. I did a bit of cleaning up right here, and this has actually got a whole new layer on it right about here that I haven't put into use yet, but obviously it will get used at some point, considering this is going to be my house. So all this stuff is going to get used, but yeah. So we can go all the way back down here and get back into some Botania stuff. So I'm also going, this is a good point to mention as well, there's going to be a link in the description to a really good Botania walkthrough that kind of goes in depth a little more than I have in this video into getting into the mod by a really awesome creator by the name of Hellfire Mage. And I will leave that down in the description and go check that out if you have any more questions about the mod, because he does a pretty good generalized kind of quick review of the mod. I mean, it's about a 30-minute video, but you will learn quite a bit in that 30 minutes. That is kind of the video. Between that and the wiki is what I was using, and this little book that you can make. It is very helpful to make one of these too, if you have any questions. So, coming back over here, our next thing we're going to need to do is to make some Terra Steel. So if I go over here and look up Terra Steel, we're going to need these little nuggets here. So we're going to need 1 ingot. The next goal of action with the Terra Steel is to make an elven trading area, which I don't know if we're going to have time to get into in this episode. This one's already running a little long. I'll probably put it like right there. But I got a little spark hooked up here. This is how you wirelessly transmit mana. So ideally the way it's going to work is it's going to take mana from that pool over there, and it's going to charge up this thing after we throw the ingredients on it here. After we place the ingredients on it, I should say. And you got to kind of stand back too. You don't want to pick them up because you can waste a bunch of mana doing that. So we're going to drop them here, drop them here, and drop them here. Hit them with this. Hit them with this. Ah, crap. Hold on. I don't think my freaking sparks are hooked up right. So what we can do if it's too far away is we can come over here and grab some of these mana tablets that I was using when I was moving this stuff around. And you can just right click on that to make sure it, and we want it to give the give the mana to these tablets. So we're going to throw a few of these tablets in here and just kind of try to speed up it draining into those bad boys so that we can move this pool a little bit closer, or at least put a pool over there that has a little bit more of the mana in it. And then we might just use system to transfer it from over here to over there. I don't know. So we got a fair amount of mana out of that pool. I guess this is about what a full mana pool looks like. We'll take one of these perfect Biniotite and 5 of these living rocks and make us another pool really quick. And then we'll come over here and grab this spark. Alright. And come over here. Throw down this mana pool. Check to see that it's pulling from these. Throw those in there, let it fill on up. Alright, now we have that taken care of. We can throw these guys back in here. And as you can see from these chests, I'm an unorganized mess when it comes to building and stuff. All the shulker boxes are still outside, and yeah, there was a creeper accident, lost part of one of my mushrooms. A little bit frustrating, gonna have to rebuild that, but it is what it is. So we're gonna put this guy here. So if I shift right click it, yeah, it shows me that these two are connected. I'm pretty sure. So maybe if we take our stuff here and do this, drop what we need on here. Oh yeah, there we go. So this is gonna take a while. It's gonna have to drain pretty much this whole mana pool, I think, to make one Terrasteel ingot. It looks fantastic though. That is so freaking cool. All the little particle effects and stuff from this mod are just amazing. Well, I'm going to let this drain this mana pool, and I will be back with you guys when it has concluded. Okay, so it didn't take a whole one, it took half of one. It literally finished as I was saying that. It's beautiful. So, there we go. We got our first piece of Terrasteel, and we can take that to give ourselves an Elven Trader, and that's going to get us some more progress into the mod here. Gonna throw that Elven Trader thing up behind us, and that will give us access to quite a few more of the higher end crafting ingredients. So I'm gonna get that bad boy set up, and then I think that'll probably be the last thing we have time for this week, unfortunately. I'll see you soon. And here we have it. We have the Elven Gate ready. So from my understanding, we just plop a couple of these bad boys down here. Link those up with this guy right here. And just like that, we have our Elven trading ready. So we just basically throw some stuff through there, and it'll throw some stuff back at us when we want to upgrade some of our items here. Whew, man. This area has very, very much came along from absolutely nothing at the beginning of this episode, for sure. And that brings our journey into Botania for an end for this week. We got to the Elven Gate, but you'll have to tune in next week to see exactly what we do with it. I'm pretty hype for this tower, not gonna lie. It took a lot of work to get this thing done. I really hope you guys enjoyed the build as well. We'll take a nice little saunter around it one more time in the free cam, just to give it a nice little view here. Really love the way this build came out, and I cannot wait to continue filling it up further with more Botania magic. We're going to start working our way up through here sometime soon, and get the rest of the rooms filled out and functioning. We have a little visitor down there. He's coming to check things out. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about the build in the comments. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see on it, or anything like that. I'm still kind of curious what to do back here. I was thinking about maybe putting some ores or something in the wall. That looks very straight on right there, so I might have to patch that up a little bit. But yeah, I really like the way that this build has turned out. It's been a great episode. I've really had a lot of fun digging into and playing with Botania now. That's been a great time. But I really do appreciate you guys tuning in this week. If you have any more questions about Botania, like I said, reference the little book or wait for next week's episode because we're going to get further into it. And if it's super pressing and you need to know right now, I'll link Hellfire Mage's Botania guide down in the description, so make sure you check that out and give it a thumbs up and a watch as well. But without further ado, I've been Simply Zach. This has been Vault Hunters. We're at the Wizard Tower. And if you want to see more Botania, tune in next week because we're going to be filling this bad boy full of fun contraptions and running some more vaults. We're well on our way. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, checking out the progress, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one. What are you still doing here? Get out of here. I'll see you next week.